Welcome to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. We're so happy that you joined us today. We got another great show lined up for you. And, man, I'm so excited about this guest. She's super special. And, she's rocked with Breezy quite a few times. You want to let them know who we have an interview with?
Oh, man, we're the one and only Chenitha on bone. And I'm talking about, she's coming strong with the trombone, which, that's hard to find out there in the industry. And so, hey, she's the go-to person. Everybody's grabbing, trying to get her to either perform or record with them.
Yes. So we're excited. We've got an interview with her coming up today. And, of course, music news stories and beats by yours truly. So we're about ready to get it rolling, aren't you?
Yes, let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah. Back in the seat right here on the Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Me. Now, today is a very, very special day. I mean, it's a really special day. I mean, it's a really special day. And so, with us right here in the seat and on the throne right there, this young lady is doing so many things right now. She's got a juggling act, but it's all in syncopation. Okay, nothing is being missed because she's grabbing everything. She's got an illustrious career, and we're not going to steal any of her thunder. We're going to bring her on and let her explain to you, the listeners, what's going on. And that's the one and only Chenitha on Bone, better known as Chenitha Reddick. How you doing today?
Thank you so much. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good. Lady in the house. Okay, so now, Achickwitbeatz and I know about your background, so on and so forth, but share who you are, what you're doing, and where you came from for the listeners today.
All right. My name is Chenitha Reddick. I am a trombone player. I'm from Albany, Georgia, and I studied at Morris Brown College.
Okay. And so now, I mean, that's a mouthful right there. Okay. And so now, way back in the beginning, okay, and we know you've mentioned that you've got certain influences that kind of led you with your music, and you were impressed by. So now, who were those influences that led you along the way with your music involvement on the trombone?
Well, of course, my dad. He's a musician himself. He's a vocalist. He's been doing music for maybe, I say, since before I was born, since over 30 years now. So he was a big influence in my life, and just watching him on stage and just growing up and just traveling, he's been a really big influence. So I'd say he's the main influence in my music career. But actually getting on the trombone, now that's a different story. My mom actually put me in band when I was, that transition when you start out, you leave in the 5th grade and you're going to middle school to the 6th grade. She put me in band class, and so the band director, they actually tested different mouthpieces out, woodwind mouthpieces and brass mouthpieces out on different students. And so the next day he actually had our names by our instruments. And I saw my name by trombone, and I was like, "Oh, trombone! I don't know if I want to play that." But because it's a big, long instrument, and then everything else is with keys, and seems like it would be a little bit easier. But I kept practicing at it, and I just grew to love it. I still play to this day. Here it is, almost 30 years. It took me through college, and got to meet a lot of great people and network and things like that. So that's how I got started on the trombone. So I didn't choose it; it sort of chose me. So that's the story I like to put it as.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask this question before I defer to Achickwitbeatz. Now, so you mentioned college, all right?
Yes.
So share with our listeners a little bit about what that college life was about, especially as a young lady with the trombone, and just tell us what was happening back then.
Yeah, back then, my freshman year at Morris Brown, I actually started in 1999, fall 1999. When I was in high school, the band directors, Mr. Eddie Ellis and Spike Neely, they actually came to my high school. They talked to me and everything, and told me about the school. And I actually had my eyes on it my freshman year, because when I was a freshman, all of the seniors at that time went to Morris Brown. So I kind of knew about Morris Brown before I actually got there, of course. So it was exciting to see the band directors come down and, audition me and, let me fill out the applications to get started. And that was the big thing. But I got a band scholarship, so I was definitely, shooting the deuces. Headed up to Atlanta, Georgia from Albany. So it was very exciting to be in the band of my first choice. It's amazing. A whole amazing experience. It was I just actually, I was truly a band geek, because I loved going to band practice and just, playing with my colleagues and making good music, going to band practice. It was just a rush. It was exciting, just to be able to travel and, play music and go to the football games and travel and doing all that. So it was very good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Chick, what you got going?
Well, I just kind of want to know, this might be a bit of an odd question, but, being a musician and specifically playing the trombone, how has it changed maybe the way that you absorb music from other people when you're listening to it? Like, are you in the car and have the radio on and be like, man, if I could put the trombone on this would just
all
take
the
it
time. All the time. I am definitely a horn player advocate. I listen for horn sections in every song, and even if it doesn't have horns, I'll put a horn lick together and try to work it out with that. But that is a gift that I do have. Any song that I listen to, it's like I can put together a nice horn lick to go with it. And I've actually been thinking about opening a business and just trying to put horn licks to different songs and just send it out and collaborate with different artists in that manner. So yeah, that is something in the making as well. So
ooh, exciting.
Okay, so now you were part of the Morris Brown College Marching Wolverine Band. Now, for the listeners out there, if you've never experienced an HBCU band, college band, you've missed out. Okay, so now coming from the inside, and by the way, graduating magna cum laude from Morris Brown College. Okay, so now share, how important those building blocks were to you for taking the scholarship activities seriously as you fast forward onto today. How did that help you?
It helped me out a lot. Just gaining the discipline of, being able to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to that class. It's time management that helps me out a lot. I definitely take into stride that I learned, just being disciplined in that aspect. If I have any type of gigs that are going on, I definitely try to get there on time. Even maybe like 30 minutes to 45 minutes early won't hurt, because you never know what can happen. So just those building blocks alone is very important, because it also builds the integrity and the relationships you have with your actual band leaders, because they say, okay, yeah, so she's on time. We'll definitely keep her, but that's important, just making sure that you're on your P's and Q's all the time. So I definitely, I don't take that lightly at all. Being on time is very important. And just the musicianship, just the networking is very important. Just meeting new people and getting out there, putting yourself out there, putting your product out there, letting people know that you're out there. That's the most important thing as well. So that's what I took from it. Just letting people know that you're there. Okay. And now, so explain or share what it was like through the normal grind of the practicing, well, actually taking classes during the day and then being at practice in the evening, and that grind Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday or whatever, Tuesday, but then how that changed on Saturday, game day, game performance. So share the chronological feeling behind that. Yeah, just okay, so from Monday through Friday, actually there were classes, ranging from 8 o'clock on to 3 o'clock. I would go to my classes, and then the most exciting part of the day is 4 o'clock band class. So we do the 4 o'clock band class for about an hour, and then after that we have another hour to get ready for the actual practice. That was exciting as well. I just can't really explain it. It was just exciting, just being in the band full of your peers, and you're making this marching music. And we used to learn like maybe 5 songs a day, So our repertoire was very wide. Yeah, and we had to memorize all of those songs as well. So whenever they call something out, boom, you got to be ready. So that's why we just practiced a lot. You know, I had the band class, and then I had the rehearsal in the evening, and then on Saturdays, you know, it's time to get up early in the morning, get on that bus, and just travel to wherever we're going. Sometimes we just go, you know, just walk down the street to the stadium, and, you know, just meet in the band room and warm up. And then, you know, when you're lining up, getting ready to go out there to the stands, that was exciting. And, you know, and then it became halftime, and then it was just a rush. Yeah.
I know it was. Achickwitbeatz, wouldn't you agree, man? I mean, this I don't take this lightly, do you?
Right. No, not at all. Yeah. I mean, it just sounds like a fascinating experience, but now I'm like, man, I wish I'd have done that.
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Wow.
Awesome. So I know with your personal experience, the practice and making sure that you're where you need to be is just kind of second nature to you. But for anybody that's out there listening right now, where maybe that's not their second nature, you know, typically as musicians and artists, we tend to be kind of late for stuff and maybe a little bit lazy to practice. Do you have any advice for somebody that doesn't come so natural to?
Just keep pushing, get around people that actually have good readiness skills, just to, you know, let some of that rub off on you. I know it kind of sounds cliche, but it does help, you know, just to get around people that are business minded, that are willing to, you know, come a little bit early to your gigs and, you know, just be ready, be in place. And then, it'll kind of rub off on you, just to be around people like that. So that's my advice. Yeah. Just find somebody that's ready to go.
Okay. Oh, and for this point now, you know, Chenitha is the hat person now. Okay. Oh yeah. She wears those hats. She wears those brims. Okay. So, you know, and before we get out of here, we'll talk about the background that you have with how to, you know, people can reach you and they can see your photos and so on and so forth. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So give them my IG handle is actually Chenitha on Bone, at Chenitha on Bone. So it's CHENITHA on Bone.
Okay. So now share with our listeners a little bit about, you know, your participation on the Norwegian Star cruise ships and things like that.
Yeah. So the Norwegian Lines Cruise Lines, I actually auditioned for this company out of Las Vegas called Mike Mahoney Entertainment. Once I auditioned for them, just kind of took off from there. It was a quick process because once I auditioned, you know, I had to get my paperwork together and fax that off and, you know, get the physical and all that stuff. And then like maybe 2 or 3 days later, you know, I got my passport, so I had to get that shipped, expedited. So once I got that, I just went on ahead and took a plane from Albany, Georgia to Atlanta, and then I took another plane from Atlanta to Seattle because we actually boarded in Seattle. It was a 7-day cruise with the Norwegian Star. They actually have several different ships that go out from that port. So it's a 7-day cruise, and it was an Alaskan cruise. So every day we were in a different part of Alaska, and then we sail all the way back to Seattle to pick up more passengers. So that was a great experience. Every day we were playing different events. We were playing talent shows, chocolate bars. That was like an event where everything was like made of chocolate, and then they have like fruit and they have cakes and things like that. We actually had a dance company aboard as well that we played with. They did Phantom of the Opera and the producers, so different, you know, plays like that. We accompanied them with that. We had like a Dixie performance we usually did. It was a great experience. The food was amazing as well.
This sounds like such a great time.
Man, you know, in addition from the music, we gotta get you to be our tour guide too.
Right.
You know, point us in the right direction, man. Wow.
Absolutely. It's something to do every day, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Man, okay.
But
okay.
mask up. Absolutely. Definitely mask up.
Well, okay, so I hit you up about the cruise lines, but you know, Achickwitbeatz, I'm sure you got something to ask about the movies, so you go right ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'd
love to hear. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, so with Drumline, I actually I was in Morris Brown. It was my junior year at Morris Brown when we filmed that. Okay. So Drumline, the movie starring Nick Cannon and Jason Weaver. And Leonard Robinson. It was a great experience. It was cold during that time. You can't really tell in the movie because they took all the frost out of the field, so it was really cold actually.
Wow.
But it was and being a college student and those shakes running in every week, that was really good too. But you know, just being on the field, that is actually our sound too, Morris Brown College, on the songs that we were playing in the movie. We went into the studio and recorded all of that first. And then after that, you know, we were on the field, we're filming, and then we're just mimicking what we're playing in the studio. So that was, and everything. But there were many different scenes. I think we filmed the whole movie in a span of like maybe 1 or 2 months. Okay. Yeah, so they were definitely something to do every day. You know, we would do class, you know, during the daytime, and then we still have our games and things like that. But in between, we'd be, you know, filming the movie as well. So
now hearing you discuss how you recorded it in the studio first and then you were just mimicking that, it sounds like it should have been so obvious, but I remember being so involved in the movie. Yeah. I was thinking it was happening like in real time. Like I was just so,
yeah. Well, that's
authentic. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a great experience. I loved it. Yeah. I'm glad I was a part of it because it sort of like, you know, paved the way for different things now. You know, kids today, they have like a Drumline Live that actually travels now. There's lots of songs that use the marching band sound. So I'm definitely honored to be a part of that, you know, that experience that paved the way for things that are happening now.
It's a movement. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And so what do you think, you know, well, you know, you may not see this, but I do. A lot of times on Major League Baseball, football, I'm talking about the NFL and so on and so forth. A lot of teams are getting these little crew, the Atlanta Hawks, they're getting these little crews where they've got musicians coming in with the drums and some horns. And I mean, that's really shaking it up. So share with our listeners what you think about that.
I think it's amazing. Like I said, it's honored. It's an honor to be a part of that movement. Keep it coming. Like, you know, all that marching band experience. It was great for me. So I definitely approve that message. Yeah, keep it moving. I love it.
Keep it moving. Okay. And so now. All right, so now we've put the building blocks in there. We've talked about who you are and where you came from, you know, what you represent and all of this. Okay, so now let's move to the 2019 and the 2020. Okay, so now you're participating in a lot of bands, okay? Yes. Because, hey, everybody wants your phone number. Because your phone number is the number to have. Achickwitbeatz, her number is the number to have. Now, I'm telling you right now. Okay. And so share with our listeners, you know, some of the bands that you're involved with, current, you know, that you're doing some music that they're calling on you to come and participate, you know, week in and week out, whether it's sessions or live or whatever, you know, educate our listeners about that.
Yeah. So, you know, being a part of different bands, you know, I actually do a lot of jam sessions during the week. I network and meet a lot of great people. So, and then also showcasing yourself is very important too. So, so you get those calls. So I do get a lot of calls. I'm very passionate about what I do. and it just shows through the trombone, and that's why I do get a lot of calls. But I am a member of several bands in Atlanta. One of them is the Main Attraction Corporate Band. We actually do weddings and birthday parties. So we travel on the weekends too. Many of my bands do. We travel and, do stuff during the week sometimes as well. Different birthday parties and corporate events and, play at different restaurants and things like that too. So that's one of them. Session 9 is actually another project that I play with. The producers for that is Tyrone Bowie and ABA. They actually are producers. We sometimes film different videos with new and upcoming artists. It's sort of like a Tiny Desk feel, but we give them like a live band feel in the background. So sometimes they just play with tracks, but like I said, we give them like a live band feel, and they absolutely enjoy it. So if you want to go on YouTube and search that, it's actually Session, and then you spell out the word 9, and then you'll be able to find the videos for that as well. And the video production is amazing. So yeah, if you want to check that out, you can do that. So The Red Sample is another band I play with. They're actually a 3-man band, and then they have 2 tubas, and then they actually, sometimes they add horn players just to put a little bit of extra sauce on it, But yeah, we play trap music, R&B. They're everywhere. I think they're at Monticello tonight. So if you want to go check them out, you can. But it's definitely something to do every day, in Atlanta. So jam sessions are the things to do. So just to network and, become part of that network and things like that. So it's important.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I'm just like ecstatic because bringing the two of you together, you and Achickwitbeatz and Achickwitbeatz with you, because you never know, with electronics, just what's going on. And the two of you guys might be able to collaborate on some stuff. And if you did,
absolutely,
I already know in advance how it's gonna be a blast. I already know. I already know. So now, okay, share with our listeners as we get ready to start winding down. Okay, what has been the overall effect of COVID-19 with the concert performances, and just what's the mindset these days, and how has that made you have to alter some things?
Yes, those, being that it is a pandemic right now, it's very important that we take precautions. Even with the shows that I do have now, our band directors, we put these caps over our bells just to make sure that there's nothing that kind of like spews out or whatever. And when we're not playing, of course, I do have to take it off while I'm playing. Take off the mask. So we do have masks that the band directors provide as well. So we always take precautions. If we have to walk, in the crowds, we definitely have our mask on. That's very important. And just, kind of staying, keeping your distance. The 6 feet is definitely important as well. So that's, and then some of the shows have been canceled, due to the pandemic, but they are picking back up. So that's great. That's great news to hear as well. So, yeah, but that's how it's taking a toll. Some of the shows have been canceled, but they are picking back up. So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I've got a question, but I'm going to defer. Chick, what do you got to say?
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's been great having you on, and I hope that we get to do this again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt. But you've been dropping gems throughout the whole interview. But I just wanted to know, like, if there was like a lasting thought or idea that you want to just kind of leave with any aspiring musicians that might be listening out there.
Yeah. So the main thing is, if you feel like that it's not going your way, you definitely want to keep pushing, because you never want to stop. It may seem like it's getting too hard for you, but just keep pushing. There may be some people that you know, may not think that you're as talented as you are, or, you know, but, you know, don't even think about that. You know, just keep doing you, and perfecting your craft. That's very important. And just keep pushing, just keep getting better, you know, don't stop.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my last question, I got to get you to just elaborate a little bit, because I'm so excited. Now, the Women Empowerment Band,
Yes.
Lisa Perkins Jackson. Okay. And also the Femme Funk all female band. Okay, now you got to give them some shouts before. So share with our listeners a little bit about them before we close out.
Absolutely. I have a couple of all-female bands that I'm in as well. The Lisa Perkins Women Empowerment Band, a group of ladies. We have a bass player, we have a guitar, we have drums, any type of instrument, trumpet, trombone, me of course, saxophone players. It's going to be an amazing product. We're actually doing a TV show, which is going to be coming out pretty soon. We're going to be filming that hopefully by the end of the year, and that'll be out soon. It's on a fashion designer and stylist. His name is Scott Julian. His name is Scott Julian. And so, yeah, we'll definitely be able to get some more information on that later. So.
Okay. Well, you know, for those of you who are just turning in, I tell you what, you missed it. Okay. Now, fortunately, this is high tech and you'll still be able to hear it. But our illustrious guest that's joined us, Chenitha on bone, also known as Chenitha Reddick. And I'm telling you, she has just educated us right here, educated you all out there. And so, I mean, Achickwitbeatz, what do you got to say about this, man? This is...
It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Feel very grateful that you joined us. And like I said, all the information that you shared, your energy, and even hearing your experiences. So, you know, I've been quarantined for a while, so I feel like I'm living vicariously the way you shared.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
And so, yeah, you know, now I'm telling you, Achickwitbeatz and Chenitha on bone, you guys got to collaborate. You got to collaborate.
Yes.
You got to collaborate. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to bow out and turn this back over to Achickwitbeatz, but, you know, it's really been royal, as I said at the beginning of the show. I'm happy about it, and I'm sure, you know, that the listeners have gained just by having your presence in there with us. And so Achickwitbeatz, so thank you for coming, and I'll turn it back over to Achickwitbeatz, okay?
All right. Thank you.
So yeah, just again, we appreciate you, and we want to make sure that the listeners know. Make sure you check her out everywhere that she mentioned, YouTube, social media handles, and all that, to make sure that you stay in touch with what she's got going on.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right, and we can't wait to have you back again.
I can't wait to come back. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Man, what an incredible interview. I was just so intrigued by her stories. Like, I just kind of wanted to sit back and just chill and listen to everything that she's done. I mean, it's just inspiring.
Most definitely, you know, and a very laid back person, but totally on point about her business, making sure that it's right where she wants it to be.
Yes. So I definitely can't wait to have her back in the mix again sometime soon.
As I say, everybody's grabbing. So no matter where you are in the country or world, you might be grabbing to check her out.
Most def. All right, now time for music news. Some interesting stories that have been going on is Spinrilla was found legally responsible for its users' copyright infringement. Now, this is kind of interesting because the judge said that they don't meet the criteria for the DMCA safe harbor protection because they don't have a repeat infringer policy in place, and they also don't have an agent to handle claims. So that puts them in a different position in like YouTube or some of these other ones where, you know, they can flag you if you use somebody else's mix. Spinrilla's just been letting its users go at it and upload whatever they want to.
Well, you know, there's a boomerang that exists sometimes, and sometimes it comes back to bite you. So, hey, folks got to watch out.
Right. And so, you know, you just kind of assume that different music sites are doing the right thing, but this time actually holding the company liable for its users' mixtapes. And, mixtapes commonly have other people's beats on them. So copyright infringement is quite common in the mixtape industry. But they didn't have the protections in place that they needed to protect themselves. So now they've got to pay.
It's amazing that in the industry, you come across a lot of folks when they are doing interviews or you read in print or whatever, they say that they don't listen to anybody else's music. Okay, no, I only listen to my own. But then when I think about it, interviews that I've seen with people like Stevie Wonder or Prince or people like that, they're fully aware of other folks' music, even though they're deep into their own. So my point is that, for those who don't listen to anybody else's music, hopefully you got some people that do. Because if some of your beats or some of your flow is in that other music, if you don't listen, if you don't become well spread with who you listen to, some of your music could be out there and you never know it. Some of your beats, some of your flows, some of anything. So it's like a catch-22. If you spend more time, you can't just spend more time listening to see if your other beats are out there, but on the same time, you gotta have some open ears, because if you don't, if it is, then you won't know.
That's a very great point. And also in music news, rapper IDK will teach a music business crash course at Harvard. And so right now the pandemic kind of has everything up in the air, but it's been in the works and apparently it's getting closer to having the details kind of locked down. IDK is actually short for ignorantly delivering knowledge. So he went from being incarcerated to signing a major record deal. And so the launch of what he's calling No Label Academy is a 10-day music business course curated for aspiring industry leaders who, don't have the luxury of having relatives in the industry that can hook them up and some of the other things that happen. So he's seeking out just starting musicians, managers, publicists, A&Rs, just from all over the U.S. so that way they can gather to Harvard's Boston campus, and it's going to have celebrity teachers, including himself. So I think that's a pretty cool thing.
I agree. Definitely. Most definitely.
All right, we're going to get back to some more beats for a little bit, and then we'll be back with more music news after that. we're back. Also in music news, Sony Music has acquired distribution company Human Resources by Jay Irving. And so now he's an executive vice president. So Human Resources will continue to sign and develop artists as a part of the Orchard, Sony's global independent distribution and artist label services arm. So that's going to be a little switch up. But it's kind of cool that he gets to maintain an executive role with Sony now.
Okay.
All right, and the Hypnosis Songs Fund is now worth $1.7 billion. And they're on track to generate over $120 million in revenue across the rest of its fiscal year, which ends on the 31st of March in 2021. So if you've been listening and paying attention, they've acquired a whole bunch of catalogs. In total, it's been 117, but they really were snatching up stuff during the pandemic. So they bought L.A. Reid's music catalog, RZA's music catalog, Rick James, No ID. I mean, they just been buying up stuff, but that's just to name a few. But among all of the ones that they've acquired, they've massed up over $1.4 billion worth of music.
I can only chuckle.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, I hope I'm saying it right, but Mercuriadis and Nile Rodgers of Chic. So it's been trading on the London Stock Exchange, and you know, it's a very young company, but they're making a lot of money, and it's got a lot of potential for more money as far as music publishing goes. And speaking of music publishing, Universal just bought Bob Dylan's publishing rights. So his whole catalog, they're assuming, is in the hundreds of millions, although, of course, they didn't disclose the exact dollar figure. But yeah, the estimates put it between 250 to 400 million.
That's mind-boggling.
Yes, indeed. And so after that story broke, you know, Twitter was just kind of going back and forth, and one fan had questioned why there were so many music artists selling their rights. And David Crosby had responded that he was selling his also, and an exact quote from his tweet: "I can't work, and streaming stole my record money. I have a family and a mortgage, and I have to take care of them, so it's my only option. I'm sure the others feel the same." Which is really, really sad that, you know, somebody that's put that much time in the business feels that they have no other recourse than to sell some of their publishing rights back in order to get the money, you know, that's owed them already.
You can lead a slow, methodical life and have things planned, or, you know, be ready for the unexpected, whatever. But once you get out into the mainstream, stuff is happening so fast on such huge proportions. It's mind-boggling. It's totally mind-boggling. With the funds, the contracts that are being signed and swapped and offered and accepted, man, wow, it's mind-boggling.
It is. All right, and we're going to get back to some more beats, and we'll be back with more music news after that.
Okay.
back. In other music news, Chance the Rapper is being sued by his long-term manager, and the manager's suing him for $3 million in commission. So he was basically saying that Chance was blaming him for like lackluster sales, but the manager said that he was actually directing him to handle things differently than he did. But then when things didn't turn out the way he wanted, he fired his manager. So, of course, we're just getting the reports. We don't know exactly how things went down, but we'll see how things play out with that lawsuit.
Interesting.
Yeah. And in other interesting news, the TDE engineer, Mixed by Ali, now owns Death Row Records studio. So, there's been some legendary music recorded in there. And so I feel like, as an engineer, that's just got to feel like a wonderful accomplishment. And I can't even imagine the creativity that he must feel when he steps in there. That's a big move, wonderful move. Kudos, congratulations to him.
Well, you know what? I give kudos, and I accept that, but I give kudos and recognition to you, because each and every week you bring these strong gold nuggets of info about what's going on in the music industry. Yeah, it's one thing to see a little blurb on TV or something on the internet, but week after week you educate people to make them aware of just the high significance of what's going on. This isn't just your mom and pop generation on the income. This is some high level stuff, and so, yeah, I give you accolades for each and every week educating folks, from coast to coast and beyond, sea to shining sea and beyond, with what's going on in the music industry. That's for sure.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's just important to me to make sure that, everybody that loves what they do, and, since music is a business, it's really important to know what's going on in some of these deals and stuff that are being made, so what the potential for your artistry is. So thank you for that. It's a passion of mine to make sure that artists understand, so that way they're not taken advantage of or missing opportunities that are available to them.
Yeah, for the beginning type of artists who are just getting going, we'll see this might be a little bit over their head, but see it actually can gradually take hold, so that they pay attention, from what you're bringing with that. But then on the other end of the spectrum, for the people who are seasoned in the music industry, they're flying along, but see, you're dropping notes that can make them stop in their tracks, because they say, oh, well, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. Okay, and see, they're picking up those nuggets of education. And so, you're not just spinning your wheels doing this. This is some deep stuff. So if you're in the industry, or even if you're not in the industry, this is education that you just can't afford to miss. So thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. And if anybody does want more detailed information, if they need me to break things down, I also am available for consulting. All right, and now we're going to get back to some more beats by yours truly before we head out for the night. back. Thank you so much for rocking with us tonight. It's been a great time. And man, I just love doing this. I know you do too.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's just the atmosphere. You know, I mean, somebody made a song a long time ago talking about, you know, what was the feeling in the atmosphere, you know, so it's right here each and every time. So, you know, providing info, education, a service, all kind of stuff, all, you know, wrapped into one ball of wax.
Yes, and we'll be back to do it again, same time, same place. So make sure that you tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then.
Absolutely.
Peace.